Good afternoon, boys and girls. Today we're going to be learning a little bit something about what is a digital citizen. Now I know that your teacher has been teaching you about some new iPads that you have gotten for this year, right? And I'm pretty sure she's told you how to take care of it, right?
Yes.
How to be responsible for it, correct?
Yes.
And I also know that you're also studying to be, you're studying about citizenship and social studies, right?
Yes.
Okay, well, you know how in social studies, citizenship means to what? Who remembers?
To be like a good person, to not like hit or push or stuff.
Very good. To be a good person, right? To be a kind person. What other words can we use to describe a good citizen? Pick up trash and be responsible, right? Well, being a good citizen, just like in social studies, it has a relation to being a good digital citizen. How can you relate that to a digital citizen? How does that relate to being a good digital citizen? When we're good digital citizens, we know how to use our
I know.
iPads in a
type of like nice way, like it's like you have a person.
nice way,
A respectful way.
respectful way, right? Like a safe way. Okay, so it connects, right? Being a good citizen means to be a safe citizen. And today we're going to be talking about internet safety. Since we are going to be using our iPads, we need to know how to use them. What's the word?
Safe.
Everybody?
Safe.
Safely, right? So if you look at this flyer that I have up here, it says, I'm a digital citizen. And it explains to us, when I'm at school, I will use my personal device for educational purposes, right? That means that we're only going to be using it related to school work. And when we want to, it says, I will only use the assigned work that I will have in my school. I will keep my device safe and secure at all times, right? I listen to my gut, and it says I make sure that I am safe and appropriate. Always be safe and appropriate when we're using the internet. Yes. That's okay. I will visit appropriate websites that promote learning and are for educational purposes. And I will follow the copyright laws and will remember to cite the sources I use for all my projects. I will always protect my private information. Who can tell me what private information is?
Like that stuff that you could just use for yourself.
Okay, stuff that belongs to yourself. Who else over here? Anyone? What do you, like private information means your, that nobody can know about it, right? In other words, what about your name? Is that your private information?
Yes.
Yeah. What about where you live, right? Your name, where you live. What about your phone number, right? What about, your address, where you live. Your school, right? And of course, when you take, what? Pictures, right? Pictures of yourself. It says, I will not share my login or my password either, right? So we don't share our information, we don't like our password or our name or our address or anything like that. And it says, I will stand up and say No to cyberbullying, right? I will tell an adult if someone is being unkind or harmful. Cyberbullying. Who has ever heard of cyberbullying?
Oh.
Have you heard of it? Do you know what it means over there in the back? It says, listen to the sentence that I just read right now. I will tell an adult if someone is being unkind or harmful. So what do you think cyberbullying means? Over there. Harmful, right? Unkind. Very good. Okay, so that's what it is. Part of it, being a good digital citizen, right? Be responsible. Use our keep our information private. How are we going to keep our information?
Private.
Private. Okay. To be internet safety, I'm going to go ahead and show you. Go over this PowerPoint. It says be smart on the internet. Gotta be very smart on the internet, right? It says, how can we be careful? How can we be careful? I need you to, in your tables, think of words that talk about being careful on the internet. Each group, come up with one word. Okay, I'm going to give you a little bit of time. I need you to think, turn and talk. Go, Lisa. How can you be careful? Think of one word or one sentence.
This way.
Okay, time's up. Let's see who has some words or sentences for me. Okay, over here. Let me start over here. Not talk to strangers on the
Phone. Electronic.
electronically. Very good. Electronic, or in other words, in the internet, right? How can we not? Where would that fit into? Like when we're chatting, right? Sometimes they say that when you chat online or you send emails, and she's got a very good point. Don't talk to strangers, people that you don't know, right? Over there in the back. I'm sorry, what was that? Oh, think before you use something on the internet. Think before you put something on the internet, right? Such as what? I'm sorry? Emails, very good. That's a good one. What else? Good job. Okay, sometimes we want to don't download apps, right? What kind of apps do we really want to download most of the time? Kids want to download. What kind of apps? Apps that are what? Games, right? Games. A lot of y'all are into. You work with, you play with the PS3 or the Xbox, and some of those things go online, right? Well, the iPad also has, it might allow you to do some of those things, but are we supposed to use games that are not safe for us? No. There's some things that we can use that are school based, right? That are school related, that we can use, but not everything. Okay, listen up, please. Chatting. This is another topic. There are lots of ways you can be careful when you talk to people on the internet, like she was saying, right? Sometimes we don't want to be giving people our information on the internet when we're talking, right? When we're sending messages. When you use what you have to ask your mom and your dad or whoever is looking after you if you can talk to people on the internet. They can help you do it safely, right? Always tell an adult that you trust. Never tell anyone who you don't know in the real world your address or your phone number or your name. Very good. Or your school where you go. Information. Your private information. Very good.
I never download those kinds of games. Those kinds of apps. One time I just downloaded a game, but
Listen up.
no one.
Ask your mom or your dad or your teacher to help you if you are just starting to chat to new people on the computer, or they can make sure you fill out any forms or properly and safely. Some people on the internet may not know, may not be who they say they are, and they might be somebody bad, right? Somebody that we really don't want to talk to. So it's not a good idea to meet anyone that you only know from talking to on the computer. Yes, ma'am.
Sometimes they can be fake. That's why they have to live on the corner where you can text. So they can know who are you.
Yeah, sometimes they're fake. They're not.
Sometimes
They say that they might say that it's a kid like you, and it might not be. It might be somebody else.
It might be like a girl.
Okay, let's go ahead and now you were talking about games. Remember how downloading games was a little. Sometimes it's not safe to download
That's
games.
why I asked my mom and dad, can I
Yes,
download it?
you have to ask your mom and dad or an adult that you trust.
Playing the game, I just delete it and then look for it.
It says always ask your mom and dad before you play games on the internet. They can help you choose the best games, and you can help them learn to play them, right? It's always best to use a nickname when you play games on the computer. Some people who you talk to when you play games could be lying. So don't tell anyone where you live or which school you go to.
Or your phone number.
Or your phone number. Exactly. And emails. You need to be careful when we're using emails, right? It says because sometimes you can get an email from persons that you don't know. Yes.
Sometimes you can some people just and sometimes kids give them their phone number just to take
They want to trick you, right? So you don't want to.
and take it.
You don't want to. You want to talk to those people. Yes, sir.
If it's someone on the internet and no one that you know, that's a mom and dad maybe they're gonna say something bad. Yeah, or they're gonna come for you. Oh, she's here.
It says, don't send any pictures to strangers either, right? You don't want to send pictures to people that you don't know either. And never tell anyone who you don't know in the real world your address, your phone number, or which school you go to. So one of the most important things to remember is to treat people with respect.
And
Right?
kindness.
Treat people how you would like to be treated, right? Would you like to be treated in a mean way? No. You like to be treated nicely, right? So just the way you like to be treated, you need to treat people the same. One of the most important things is to treat people with respect. Be kind, nice when you're writing anything on the computer so you don't upset anyone, right? Yes, ma'am.
My parents, they have something called Marco Polo, and it's like a FaceTime kind of thing, and they do things, and you can make like voices and you can send things to other different people.
Yeah, there's like all kinds of screens. You just swipe the screen to one.
FaceTime is when you see each other and you communicate through
If
video.
you know like your friends, your videos, your playlists.
So there's a lot of things that we're going to be looking at when we get into our iPads. We've got to make sure that we use our iPads safely and correctly. So be smart on the internet, and here are some top tips. Let's repeat after me. Always ask a grown-up.
Always ask a grown-up
Very good. Before you use the internet.
before you use the internet.
Don't tell strangers
Don't tell strangers
where you live,
where you live,
your phone number,
your phone number,
or where you go to school.
or where you go to school.
Only your friends
Only your friends
and family
and family
need to know that.
need to know that.
Right? Why? Because your friends and family, you already
No.
know, right? You already know who they are. And you, what's that word?
Trust.
Trust. What's that word, everybody? Trust. Very
That's someone
good.
you that you trust.
Yeah, someone that we trust. We don't, we always tell a grown up if we feel scared. We always tell a grown up
When you're scared
when we're scared about anything.
about anything.
Anything. Okay, very good. Now, a safe way to search for information when we're on the internet is to use our school information or our school databases, right? Go to our school library website. So I'm going to show you real quick. I'm going to show you real quick how to get there. We're going to go to you already know how? Okay, let's go review this real quickly.
Can't we forget?
It says we go to our school library website, and you see where it says catalog? Can I have your attention, please?
Yeah.
Where it says catalog, we're going to go to catalog,
It's the store.
and we're just going to type in information that we need to know. For example, let's say we're right now, our topic is looking for or getting to know what a good digital citizen is, right? So I would want to go research that or search that in the library to know more about it, right? I wanna inquire about it. So I wanna go into my catalog and type in some keywords. So I'm gonna go ahead and, you know what? I wanna know how to stay safe. Stay safe online. So I type those words in there and I click keywords. See how many books there are in the library about that. And guess what? Here we have, how many books do you see? Three, right? We have Online Predators and Privacy. Okay, they talk about how people want to get into
Stay safe online.
staying safe online. They talk about staying safe online. And then we have another one that's actually called Stay Safe Online. And
You have that.
and I have this book right here. I have this book right here. Because this book talks about all the important things that we need to know when we're using the internet. And since you're going to be using your iPads, you need to know how to use it appropriately and responsibly. And we also have one on cyberbullying, another book on cyberbullying. Who remembers what cyberbullying was?
Oh.
Like you're bullying people
Like you're bullying people.
and you're
how?
not being nice. You're
Not being nice. What else?
being rude and disrespectful.
Being rude and disrespectful. Do we want to treat people that way?
No.
No, right? Do we want to be treated that way?
No.
No, we don't.
And sometimes you break someone's heart.
Yes, but you don't want to break anybody's heart, right? Okay, so, and if you see here, here's some more, here's our library webpage.
Oh, we did that. We know how to do that. Have we seen the student reader? Have we seen a student
student resources. If you go to student resources, there's some more over here where we can go and look for some more information. We can also use Mac and Via, right?
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Mac and Via
I
is,
know that.
what is Mac and Via? Who can tell me what is Mac and Via? Right there. Yes.
It's like you can read books and you take a test on it. Yeah,
Read
I know.
books, take a test on it.
You
You can read books online, right?
even math books, and adventures and science books.
All kinds of books, right? You have a question? No. And these books are all, they're all online. You can check them out online. Do they count do they add up when you're checking real books in the library?
No.
No, right? You can check out as many as you want here. And only, how many books have you checked out in the library?
2.
Two, right? We also have another resource called BrainPop Junior. Who has seen BrainPop Junior? Very good. Okay. So right now what we're going to be doing is listening to a video on internet safety. So can I have everybody's attention?
Yes.
Because when you listen to this video, I want you to pay very close attention because what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and give you a test afterwards. So pay attention and listen very carefully.
Oh my gosh. After that, we're going to do a test. Have to listen. We're going to do a test
We did it.
Bring
You ready?
Uh-huh.
Hold on. Oh, there it is.
Internet safe.
Okay.
Oh, I really see.
Oh, I don't know why.
I don't think this was designed to be flown by a 500-pound robot. Wait a second, can't you fly anyway?
You know that guy?
Dear Tim and Moby, why do so many people talk about this?
Hi there. Want to chat? Wait, Moby, do you know Rocket Ron? Then how do you know he's safe to chat with? What should you do if a stranger sends you a message? My friend Becca sends me instant messages when we're online. And my pen pal Jen emails me jokes. My parents know that they're safe to email or chat with, but sometimes I get emails or messages from people I don't know. Well, Rocket Ron is definitely a stranger. If a stranger contacts you or makes you feel uncomfortable, tell a teacher or a grown-up.
What are we going to do?
Tell a teacher or a grown-up.
Very good.
They can keep the stranger from bugging you by blocking their emails or instant messages. Sometimes I get emails from people that pretend to know me or tell me I've won a big prize. If I don't know the sender, I don't open the message. How can you be safe on the internet? We're always careful around strangers on the street, and we should do the same with strangers on the internet. We should never share our personal information before asking our parents or teacher. Well, your name, address, phone number, and birthday are all pieces of personal information. You do not have to share where you go to school or pictures of yourself. Moby and I only visit websites that are safe for kids. If we accidentally get to a site that makes us uncomfortable, we tell a grown-up so they can block it.
So what kinds of websites do they use? What did they say?
Kids websites.
Kids websites that are
Safe.
safe. And what were those safe kid websites that, like the things that I showed you right now that we could use in school?
or don't go on bad websites because sometimes people can make trick you on the game. They can just make it up and they can track it.
But what are the things that we can use safely here in school? What are those called? On our library webpage. What are those called? Who remembers? Epic, which is it's called a database. What are they called?
Database.
What's another database we could use that is safe?
Epic.
BrainPop, right? BrainPop, Epic, what's in the Macadamia, right? And our catalog.
AR.
AR.
And Smartians.
AR, yes.
Smartians.
Okay.
And Maggie.
Let's go ahead and listen, please.
I know it's important to stay safe on the internet, but how can you keep your computer safe? Moby loves playing games on the computer, and Mia uses images from the internet in her projects for school. But we know we shouldn't download anything without asking a grown-up.
Why shouldn't we download anything when we're in our computer? What can happen when we download something?
You don't know what if you get hurt.
You don't know if who gets hurt. When we're downloading something, we download it to our computer.
Someone can track you on the game. Yeah. Their laptop. My sister, she got it like a scary thing, and I'm like, no, don't download it, so I can leave it to her phone.
Okay, well, that's one thing, right? They can be unsafe. They can be unsafe, and when we download things, computers can get viruses. Just like-
that's what I was just gonna say.
Very good, very good. Viruses, right?
Virus like someone's like, hacking you? Mario.
No, I think it's like when they can know your address and stuff.
So if we download things, sometimes it can be harmful to our computers. And we don't want that because it can actually spread to another one and then another one, right? So let's listen.
If you download something from an unsafe website or open an unsafe email, your computer can get a virus. Yep, a computer virus is kind of like the flu. It's a program that keeps your computer from working the right way, and you can accidentally spread it to other computers.
I'm scared.
You can also keep your computer safe by using strong passwords. Some people can figure it out and steal passwords, so it's important to choose good ones that are hard to guess.
So, okay, what kind of passwords do we need to create when we're doing our passwords? When we're creating them? Easy passwords?
Yes.
Hard
Oh, right.
password.
Hard passwords, good passwords actually, right?
Strongest password. On the
back.
Strong passwords. very good.
On the back of the Mac, it says password on the back.
Oh yeah, what do you think he's doing? Look at the character there. What do you think he's doing?
Stealing passwords.
He's stealing passwords. How can somebody steal a password?
Maybe you just
They
take
can
it
figure
here.
it out and hear you say the password and write it down in a piece of paper, right? And then they can use it like if it's them. And they can get into your system and then they can delete stuff or they can do other harmful things. Yes? You gonna say something?
You have a window that's glass and they see that it's glass, they go back to their home and get a hammer and just take it and go inside and try to figure out the password and write a piece of
Somebody might try to figure out the password, right? So we want to create strong passwords that people can have a hard time getting. And also, do we want to give our passwords to our friends?
Yes.
We do?
The
No,
BFF
never ever
Only
give
the
your
people
passwords
who
to your
use
friends.
password, they can leave
Do you give it to the people you trust? Your password? Let's say